Jones, and we always push up the screen because the curtain's going up as we are behind the curtain right now. But we're pushing it up because the PuSh Festival is back. It's back and bigger and better than ever. And we're talking with Gabriela. Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are
And and
you?
and I added an to your name because I was going Gabriela, but it's Gabriel.
That's fine. I appreciate the embellishment, the dramatization.
Nice. Well, I can't help but be dramatic when talking about the PuSh Festival, one of the most innovative festivals. Started, if I'm not mistaken, under the auspices of the late Norman Armour. He started it, and you've been involved with the festival for 3 years now. This is your second one that you're curating the whole thing. What have you got in store for us? It's always so exciting.
Yeah, thanks for your enthusiasm. I'm enthused as well. Yeah, this is a festival with 17 projects and 15 countries are represented in this festival. And we have a number of, Canadian debuts, 7 Canadian debuts, 4 world premieres. And I really think about the thematic kind of drive behind this festival program as being works that share a sense of cultural urgency, works that make us feel more alive, works that accelerate social change, works that animate culture through experimentation and interdisciplinarity. So yeah, to me, these are all really vital works that I think are, works that cannot be missed, and that's why they are part of this program of 17.
Nice. So now, would you say, because a lot of shows lately in Vancouver have been shows about warning, and so that can get a little heavy. Are you saying, would you go, well, we're about half warning, half hope, or where are we landing? Because I think people are getting more and more like, right, for good reason.
Yeah, I mean, I think that for me, the work needs to be pertinent and relevant. And in that way, a lot of the works do examine contemporary issues. But I think that also one thing that's really important to the PuSh Festival is a work that takes creative risk,
Mhm.
work that is, pushing boundaries with form, experimenting with form, always work that has really strong dramaturgy. And what I mean by that is like it's really there's a very well crafted journey for the audience. The audience's experience is very centered in that. So I think to me, all the work is inspiring in the very least on the creative side of how the stories are realized and brought to the stage. I am not so interested in prescriptive theater. I think that we have a lot of work. I mean, my background is in contemporary dance and contemporary circus, so a lot of the work is very physical,
Nice.
using that physicality as a primary means of communication. And I think that a lot of that there's a vitality in the language that's being used in all of the work.
And I guess that also lends you to opening up to other countries more so, because Push always is, it's a curated festival. We should talk a little bit about that. But it allows international acts to translate into a multilingual country like Canada, where you go, well, this one's physical. You're all going to get it. You're all going to understand it because it's being told through the body as opposed to through language.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the same time, I do think it's important diverse country that we're comfortable experiencing work that isn't maybe in our native tongue. So there's, a great work that we've partnered with Théâtre de la 16e on this year.
Very local.
And yeah, and SFU Woodward's cultural programs is
Also
La
local.
Mortelle. Yeah, yeah, we have a lot of really important local partners. La Mortelle, une cathédrale ensevelie. And this is a work by a Haitian director that's now based in France. And interestingly enough, even though the story, like, yeah, he's Haitian, his company's in France, it's very much the story of migration and also exile and that experience on families. And a large part of that play is actually set in Canada. There's a huge Haitian community in Montreal. So this is a work that is in French with surtitles. And also, I will just maybe talk a little bit more about its interdisciplinarity, because it's a work that, while it's text-based, it's Guy defines it as a piece of opera theater in the way that it's working with the music and a local choir. So in that way, even our text, I mean, interdisciplinary is very much a theme. But yeah, I would like to say that, we also really want to celebrate the different modes of storytelling in different languages, and like habituate ourselves to being open to experiencing stories in different modalities. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Now maybe we should just talk a little bit. I mean, maybe it's obvious to our listeners, the difference between the PuSh Festival and, say, the Fringe Festival, which are both theatrical festivals with multiple different disciplines on display. You're a curated festival. So can you maybe, just in case there's one person out there who's like, well, is it like the Fringe Festival? You're like, no, that is not a curated festival. This is one. What's the difference?
Yeah, I mean, each serve their roles. The Fringe is so wonderfully democratic, and it's just a great space for, it's so inclusive. And yeah, I mean, 17 works from, we're an international festival, so 17 works from around the world. I mean, first of all, it has to be curated. There's so many works out there that, how do you choose 17 from a world of art, right? It means that I spend quite a bit of time traveling and quite a bit of time seeing work, hundreds and hundreds of pieces seen each year. And then it is really about finding that work that, as I mentioned, feels absolutely urgent. It feels urgent for the times we live in, because I see a lot of really great work that I enjoy. But then, is this work that Canadian or, Vancouver-based audience need to see? This is the work that needs to be here right now. So, yeah, and it's about half the program is international, a third a quarter national, and a quarter local.
Nice.
I think we're very much about being a connector, and offering that opportunity for exchange of perspectives that happens through works that come from all over.
Okay, let's play a quick game. I'm going to give you different potential patrons and see. We have the program. We have the program that has, like, I already put a little piece of thing to go. Here's the calendar. So I'm going to name a patron, and you're going to pick one of the 17 shows that you go, oh, this is what they would likely love. Okay, so I am I'll do 3 because I'm not very clever. I'm a 19-year-old theater school student who's looking to be inspired. What should I see?
I have 2 pieces I want to talk about.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, one of them I would say would be Runner.
Which one?
The Runner.
Okay. Oh, the very controversial The Runner. Yes.
Yes.
If you're in the theater scene, you've been hearing about that show.
Yes. Yeah. So it's I mean, it's by Canadian playwright Christopher Morris. It's a one-man show. The artist is on a treadmill the entire time. It's a very intense work where this character is, caught between the makes a decision that's based on his humanist impulse, and then is really very much entrapped in the fallout that comes from the society around him, and how the society views his decision. So it's really about like a fundamental human conflict, or a very personal conflict, but a conflict that speaks to our times between, how do we situate ourselves in relation to others, and how society can create such a chasm between us and others. What is really incredible about it, I think, is the writing and the performance. It's a real tour de force in that sense of how it's just a very gripping hour. So I think also in terms of the treatment of a story, this what makes for really good theater. I think Christopher Morris really understands that. I would also like to talk about Lorenzo. Can I talk about you?
You sure? Yeah,
Very,
yeah. Because I'm
very
going to give you two
quickly.
other characters. Now, you can't give them all such detailed descriptions.
Okay.
This video will be
Snappy.
20
We're
minutes long.
snappier. Okay, sure. Lorenzo is a piece that really treats, the artist, Ben Target, has a background as a stand-up comedian, but this piece is about his autobiographical, experience taking care of his dying uncle. It's very touching. It's at times you cry, at times you laugh, but ultimately it's about care, and it also involves shadow puppetry and fire breathing.
Nice. Of course. I would have guessed that. Okay, I'm going to give you another person. I am a 67-year-old woman, retiree, who is looking to be stimulated, my imagination stimulated, but I don't want to be overwhelmed.
Okay,
What should I-
Plea. Plea. Plea is by a French company, Les Subs, and it is a work by a really fascinating contemporary circus artist, Inbal Ben Haim. She's the lead of it, but it's really an interdisciplinary work between circus and visual arts. She's collaborated with visual artists that work with paper. So the entire stage is this evolving paper sculpture. And she uses aerial rope or aerial, acrobatic technique in paper, aerial paper. So it's completely compelling, awe-inspiring, but also a real meditation. She's using the circus language in an abstract way, in a very experimental way. And it's just visually stunning as well as being a commentary kind of on the fragility of our existence in balance with our environment.
Nice, nice. So are paper airplanes involved?
No paper airplanes.
Oh, what? It just seems to me that's a gimme. Okay, last one. It's a power couple who have got a sitter taking care of the kids. They are going to have a night out. They're getting some culture because they have both vowed to be more culturally significant and entwined into the arts scene. So they're both tired. It's the end of the work week. They both work 2 jobs, and they're coming out to see something. What should they see?
They should see Dark Matter.
Nice.
They should see Dark Matter. Dark Matter, it's also a work that's being presented in partnership with SFU Cultural Programs. It's a work by Cherish Menzo, who is based in Belgium. This is a work that I frame as like some of the works in our festival really provide ourselves with opportunities to imagine possible futures. And she is really working between, like, her research spans post-humanism to Afrofuturism. It's very visually stunning work, very experimental. She's a choreographer, dance-based artist, and she's really playing with some science fiction references in terms of dark matter, but really kind of getting at how our bodies are perceived and how we can kind of reclaim that perception, expand our visions of what's possible. I love this work because it's visually stunning. The images are haunting that she creates. And she likes to explore the monstrous or the grotesque. So you kind of have to come to get a sense of what that is, what that means. But she's very much an artist who is taking risks and gritty.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it. And know what I love? I love so much because it just popped into me when we were talking about that one, is you're quote unquote name dropping, but you're not name dropping people like these are people I know. You're name dropping people that we should know. Like, so you're saying their name, going, you should know this artist, you should know this person. And the PuSh Festival is going to give you a chance so that you can get to know them. I love that.
Yeah, I think it's very important. It's important to not just, when I'm looking at work, I'm not necessarily looking at people who have big names. I'm looking at
Yeah,
people whose work is, because
big
there's
work.
incredible work that's being created by people who aren't known yet internationally, or they might be, but yeah.
Yeah, nice. Or they're very well known in their country, but
Yeah,
they're new to Vancouver.
exactly.
I love the PuSh Festival. I have vivid memories. I was one of the audience participants in the blind walking tour show. I was one of the walkers, leading people on an adventure for 1 year PuSh Festival. I remember the one that took place in Gastown, where it was in a bunch of storefront windows and on the street. And I really remember this German show where they were talking about uh, the perils of capitalism and retirees, and they actually had their fathers on the stage with them while they were talking about how they were like, I don't know how I'm going to take care of this person, and we're not getting any inheritance. And I remember that being, wow, your dad's right there. Like, oh, I can't believe you're talking about this. So always wild, always different. You must be very excited to unleash this onto the city of Vancouver.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's so meaningful that you bring up these memories, and so many people have these kind of memories of the PuSh Festival, things that stand out, and sometimes, not every work can be the ideal work for each person that speaks to them fundamentally, we hope. But I think with the PuSh Festival, you can at least walk away knowing that it's an original work, it's a well-crafted work, and it's something that you wouldn't have seen elsewhere.
Nice. Where can we find these? Where can we find these? I found
Yeah,
mine in a community center, I think, in the library at the Britannia Community Center. Where else?
great.
If I was looking for one of these things that are so beautifully detailed, where would I find them?
Yeah, the easiest option is JJ Bean. They should be at all the JJ Bean locations. They're a supporter of us, and otherwise around.
Nice. Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited about the festival. I'm so thrilled to see what you've got in store for us. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to talk with me.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Bye.